So, as some of you may or may not know, several weeks ago I joined an MLM called Acti Labs. Completely random, but it was part of my research. I wanted to know what it was like to be in an MLM. I was obviously not going to work my MLM sufficiently because I'd rather die. But what I was really interested to see was to sort of get a feel of the community, this community, because I keep hearing all these things about, I didn't want to leave, I didn't want to, lose all my friends, or the idea of leaving and they get bullied, or all of that kind of thing. I wanted to kind of try and get a feel of that. So I joined, and I was obviously then allowed into the group chats and all the rest of it. And as I went along, I was getting information out of people from the group, of just information about the structure of this company and lots of different things, people in it, and things like that. And I'll be honest, I found the whole thing really, really fascinating, really very fascinating. But one thing stood out to me above all else, and I've been thinking about this and thinking about this and thinking about this, because people seem to think that the idea of pyramid schemes, or MLM pyramid schemes, or product-based pyramid schemes, that's new. That's a new thing, right? That's a new thing. But the structure of the MLM is not a new thing. It's not a new thing. And I'd say it was a very, very old structure, very archaic structure. And the structure that I would liken it to, and I would almost say it was pretty much identical to this structure, is the feudal structure. I geek people out with history. The feudal structure, or feudalism, was the way we lived for hundreds of years. It's how the medieval people lived. Medieval people lived where they would have a king, then that would be at the very top. Beneath the king, I'll put it here, have a king at the top. Beneath the king, you would get the sort of nobility, who were born into it, the elites. Beneath them, you would get the knights, and who would make up the 90+% of the population would be the peasantry. And the peasantry would work constantly. They'd live hand to mouth. They wouldn't have a particularly nice existence whatsoever. And that's how we lived for hundreds of years. Most of us can trace our ancestors back to the peasantry. Most of us would be the peasantry if feudalism was still in place in the 21st century. But it's not. It's not for normal people. For normal society, feudalism was dead and gone. However, what I have come to realise is that this archaic structure appears to have been resurrected, dragged into the 21st century, and it's now called an MLM scheme. And it's almost identical. It's almost identical in all ways. And even down to religious indoctrination, the peasant class, which, as I said, would make up the 90% of the medieval population, were brainwashed. They were brainwashed into living these miserable existences and working. I mean, we're talking the people that would have worked the land, the people that would have gone into the mines, the servants, any job that nobody else wanted to do, that none of the elites or the nobility would want to do. The peasants would do it, the peasantry. And they could never get out of this. They could get out of this. There would have been two ways you could get out of being a peasant. Two ways. One was to join the military, become a knight. And another way was through the church. Now, they don't have churches in MLM land, but what they do have is its own religion. And that religion is called the law of attraction. And this is how MLMs indoctrinate the 90+%, the 99%, isn't it, that would have been peasants. They indoctrinate them with the same way as the medieval nobility kept the peasantry in check. the MLM nobility and kings and elites and everybody else who needs the 99% to keep killing themselves, they use the law of attraction. And it's very, very similar to Christianity, and it's very, very similar to the indoctrination done to peasants in medieval times. Very much to do with, you keep working, because I'll tell you what, rich people are not getting into heaven. Nope. Jesus said, an elephant will walk through the eye of a needle before a rich person gets into heaven. So the meek, all you lot, you're the chosen ones. And you keep working and you keep working. And this is all that this is. Keep working and you'll be like me one day. You'll have this amazing life. You keep working. And they're kind of this original sin, which would have been, you're born with sin. You're born, it's just you're not working hard enough. You're not working hard enough. And if you fail in this world, your own fault. It's your own fault. The only way you can get anywhere is just keep working. Just keep killing yourself. Just keep living a miserable existence where you get nowhere in life. Nothing ever happens, because you can never, unless you can really get out there, unless you can get on the front line and become, get into the military, you've got to fight. And to get there, you've got to get on the webcams every day. You've got to not be afraid. You've got to be extroverted. You've got to be, we're talking Laura dos Santos. This would have been where she was. She started Unique in 2017 when it was arguably at saturation point already, and she got to leadership because she fought for it. She got on the webcams morning, noon and night every single day, to the detriment of her personal life. She got on those cameras every single day. She sacrificed everything for Unique, every single thing, everything for Unique, everything for her team, and she got there. It wasn't worth it though. It wasn't worth it. That's why she left in the end. It's never worth it. It's never worth sacrificing your life for that. She earned decent money. She didn't earn the money that they earn at the top, but she earned decent money, but it wasn't worth it in the end. It wasn't worth it. Laura made an excellent video earlier today, and she explained, I'm going to put the links to it, she explains in her video what really confirmed it for me, that this is basically feudalism in the 21st century. This will lead on to my next TS Life video, where I explain a few dodgy practices, to say the least. So she explains that people who reach the sort of levels of nobility, if you like, either get in there really early, and we're talking about, you imagine a conquest of a new land, and these are the first people, and they stick their flag in and they say, this is my land. That's one way you can get up there. And then as they stick the flag there, the potential peasantry arrive and start, and that's how they get there. And I know there's a load of people in FM world who have never been, I know one in particular who she's right at the top, never been in another MLM before, never been interested in MLMs before, got in before a boom and it shot her straight up there. And now she's, she is MLM nobility, and she always will be if she chooses to be. She can take her team all around. So as soon as FM goes into decline, off she can go with her team. If she gets in there early enough, she has to recognise it going into decline first and then jump ship. And that's what can typically happen. Once you get there, you will be there, and you can. And we are seeing this in the business Bombshells now. All the people, talking about I'm this elite status, I'm this, I'm that. They came over from Juice Plus. They brought all these people with them. They didn't start where you are. They did not start where you are. They came from Juice Plus. They brought big massive downlines with them. And I know into Acti Labs came a lot of people from Unique. A lot of black status from Unique came into Acti Labs, and they established their little territories in the Kingdom of Acti Labs. And that's what they are. And if Acti Labs goes into decline, off they will go to somewhere else. I observe this in my own in the group that I was in. You know, I observe this. I see this group of 600. You know, and I guess the knight, she's not earning the mega bucks. You know, she hasn't got access to the king, has she? But they will follow her everywhere. This 600 they came from one company with her to Acti Labs, and off they will go with her to wherever else she chooses to take them, wherever else. And they will follow her, and that's how this works. And she will always be there. She's fought her way up there. She's got them all under her now, and she doesn't have to lose that. If she's clever, I mean, she could lose them. If Acti Labs goes into decline and she doesn't notice it and they all start to leave, that will implode on her and she'll lose them. She has to be. And this is how they keep these downlines. They have to be able to notice if it's all going pear-shaped. In the end, it needs to be a fine balance. You need, obviously, to keep an MLM from imploding, it can never reach saturation point, ever. If it reaches saturation point, they all jump ship, because really the power is all within the sort of upper sections of the pyramid. Another way to get up, you know, you leave this and you get into the sort of religion aspect of the feudal MLM pyramid, and that is, like I said, their number one religion. It's the law of attraction, and you can, their king, you see, in the medieval times it was the Pope. Now it's Eric Worre, isn't it? He's the king. They all copy him, don't they? The mindset gurus, they all copy him. And they are that's what I've learned. Now, what you'll probably, if you're in an MLM, what you're going to be finding out, and I'm going to, as I said, I'll put Laura's clip down there, because you need to understand. You need to understand something now. You are never, ever going to reach MLM nobility, ever, unless you get in somewhere early. And even if you get in early, right? It's where the CEO puts you. I mean, we noticed with the business Bombshells, Sophie Hughes, she has placed her favourites right beneath her. That's where they are. And beneath them, you get the likes of Ellie, who would be, I guess, in medieval terms, she'd be a knight, wouldn't she, on the front line every day, a performing monkey, isn't she? Pulling them all in, getting them in. So the people above her can benefit from her hard work. Sophie could have put her straight at the top, but that wouldn't have helped. Sophie has her favourites, she has her elites, and she knows that they can't get as many people in as Ellie, for example, so she puts them above Ellie, and Ellie goes beneath, and then Ellie feeds all of them with her hard work. But Ellie will never be in the nobility. Laura was never going to be in there, because it doesn't make sense. You need the people who can, you need these people to be on the front line, and you need your elites to be above them to feed them, because these people don't go on camera. They don't put themselves out there. They just sit quite comfortably. I mean, they may go on camera sometimes to address the sort of masses, to sort of, oh, isn't this wonderful? But I'm talking about every day going on camera. I'm talking about the makeup tutorials every day, the live streaming every day. I'm not talking about you pop on camera to showcase a new product. I'm talking about the people like Laura are on there every single day. And I know of ones in the business Bombshells who are, as I said, Ellie. But this is what I'm talking about. And these people need to be placed beneath the favourites, beneath the sort of nobility, if you like, because they need to feed them. Because it's these people are ones who bring the resources in. They're the ones who bring the resources, and the resources are, you know, the 90-odd% of people who are just going to work, raffle. You know, Sample, 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 sample in the case of business bombshells. These are the people. These are the people who are going to manipulate the people who on disability living allowance to join up and keep pumping in there. I mean, they will all have their strengths. They will all have their strengths. They will all have their specialities. They will all have their ways of bringing in the resources. And that's, you know, they will all have their specialities. But these people who bring in the resources, they won't ever get, they never get here. And you won't either. You can become that person who brings in the resources. But I'll tell you now, you won't want to stay doing that because it's bloody hard work. And you want to get your face out there every single day. They do it, people do it because they get addicted to it, but they do it. But if you're not confident, if you're not extroverted, if you're too embarrassed to go in front of a camera, you're not going to get there. You are going to remain in the mass, 90-odd% mass, right? Where you make fools of yourselves every single day. You embarrass yourselves in front of everyone you know, right? Begging for people to join your raffles, you know, begging, doing stupid before and after pictures of yourself with, you know, showcasing things. Oh, look how much weight I've lost. Cringy pictures, because this is what it takes. This is what it takes for the 90-odd% to feed an entire pyramid of people. Because there's people at the top need that money. They need your universal credit. They need your disability living allowance. They need your child benefit. If you receive money from your child's father, they will need that as well. They will need it all because they have a big pyramid and it all needs feeding, and you're going to do it. You're going to do it. And you're never going to leave that position, ever. You're never going to get up there. The only way you can leave is by getting out. It's the only way you're going to, unless you want to become a coach or you want to get on the webcams every single day doing live streams and build a massive audience of people who you can pull in from, because that's the only way that's the only way you can do it, unless you want to get out. And I'm going to tell you now, you need to get out. You need to get out, because I get it, you've got your little community, but the MLM is sucking you dry. The MLM is taking everything, and it doesn't matter which MLM. Acti Labs is not a different MLM from Unique. It's not a different MLM from in structure of business bombshells. It's not different. They have products, different products, but the MLM structure is always the same. It is always a carbon copy of medieval feudalism. That's all it is. It's been resurrected and it's been dragged into the 21st century. Now you're in it. And you're not getting up there. No one's getting up there. You have to be put up there, or you have to be the first. You have to be one of the first. And if you're not either of those things, if you're not in with the people at the very top, if you're not a favourite, if you don't know people already, not getting there, you're going to stay at the bottom and you're going to be brainwashed daily to believe that you can get up there, but you never ever can. You never can get up there. And I want to help you leave. I want to help you leave this stupidity, this archaic shit show that you're a part of. You've been drawn into this by somebody who, you know, you thought a lot of, or you thought had a really amazing life. Somebody has brought you into this at your most vulnerable point in your life. You might have lost your job. You might be in deep depression, just wanting to reach out to people, just wanting people there around you. But these aren't the right people. I'm not saying that they're not the right people for their personality. I'm saying that that they are not the right people for the situation they are in. Nobody who makes profit off you can ever be your friend. Nobody, because they make profit off you. They can't ever be genuine friends. And none of the people up there give a damn about you. They don't give a damn. They couldn't care less. They could not care less, especially the person at the very top. Couldn't care less. So that is my message for you. If you would like help escaping this archaic structure that you've been sucked into, this archaic, deeply problematic structure, there is a support group available to you. I really advise you to watch the 2 videos, which I'm going to post links to below, of Laura's, where she explains this in real terms. She explains it with business bombshells. She explains it fantastically with she draws it all out and she shows. My next TS Life video, I am going to be proving that CEOs place people in this position beneath them. They place people there because they can. Because they can. None of this in this industry is unchecked, unregulated. They have a body, but it's unchecked. It's been unchecked for God knows how long. We've got companies like Business Bombshells who are now targeting people with Down syndrome and people with learning difficulties. That is what you're a part of. And it's a complete disgrace. I want to help you get out. I want to help you get out. Link to the group is in the description. There is an entire community of people who want to help you get out. There is an entire community of people who will not allow you to be abused when you get out, right? There is always a way out of this. And in fact, I don't care where you are in the shit show. I don't care where you are in it. If you want to come out of this, right? If you want to come out of this, you come to me, you join the group, and you will get all the support in the world. All the support in the world off me and everybody else. And everybody else in the movement you will get. And that's my message to you. And I'd like anybody with friends in MLM pyramid schemes to pass this message around. To pass this message around that there is a life outside of the archaic MLM feudal structure. And we're all waiting to support you.